Alright guys, so we have a Whirlpool washer here. This is a direct drive machine. Very reliable. Probably one of the best machines that Whirlpool made. So I just wanted to show real quick, if you need to remove the transmission, what you would do. So inside the drum you have your agitator, and that's part of it. You do have a 7/16 bolt. You'd remove that from the inside. Once that's removed, you would move to here, and those are 1/2 inch, I think, and you have 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. You do have the motor. You can just disconnect a pump. Those clips for the pump, you can just disconnect those, and you can set the pump to the side. And the motor, disconnect your wire from the motor, and you can just extract the whole transmission and the motor together. Like I said, sometimes you have to work them a little bit. And this one is being a little stubborn. Usually they come right on out. So sometimes you got to go inside and spray a little bit of WD-40 on the shaft, but keep working it, it comes out. Alright, one more thing to do, guys. So we're going to grab our pliers or channel locks. We're going to grab the shaft and turn it. The transmission is actually turning in here because we're stuck inside. One more try. Oh yeah, that shaft was stuck. Okay, so now rotating. Got our pliers on there. We're pulling. Yep, here we go. Sometimes you gotta use some persuasion, guys. Yep, here she comes. Alright guys, like I was saying earlier, this is your cam. This is your brake. Or brakes. These stop the washer. And sometimes when you have a super sudden stop during a spin, this would be the portion of the washer that you want to deal with. Now, 2 ways of fixing this. You can remove the entire brake assembly, clean it well with alcohol, sand it down, make sure it's nice and smooth, make sure the brake pads are, not rusted or any corrosion on them. Or you can just get a little bit of WD-40, just a little bit, spray a little bit there, a little bit there, and also a little bit right on the brake shoe. It's not going to hurt anything. It eventually dries off, wears away, and that keeps you from locking up. Okay, that's the fix for that. When the machine is spinning, this is activated, and if you notice that spring pushes and it releases the brake and allows the drum to turn freely. As soon as the machine stops, this is deactivated and the machine is now halted. And that's how the brake portion on that works. These are your gliders. These sometimes when they wear out, you have to replace them. And to change those, you push that forward and you get a small hammer, just tap them out. Very important. They keep your machine from, you know, making noise during the agitation. So other than that, pretty straightforward machine. If these fall out, don't worry about it. Those are shipping bolts. Sometimes you might see them fall and you're thinking, oh my gosh, you broke something or something is missing now. But they're shipping bolts and they actually went in that hole and they keep the whole machine from going crazy during shipment. So so that's that on that. Let me mention something else about your transmission. So this is the clutch, okay? This whole piece is your clutch, and you can test these pretty much by, if you put some pressure, if you push against this by squeezing it and trying to move the space, and you can move it freely and easily, then you need to replace this piece. Sometimes you can change the springs and make them stiffer. You want to have a nice strong resistance. When this starts to move freely, then your clutch is slipping, your washer will not spin. Now, you do have it's called a weeping hole. In fact, I have to tell you right here, instructions. Clear weeping hole before installing. So you do have a hole here, and it has a tiny hole. Make sure that hole is clear and free, otherwise you will leak oil on your floor. It causes, well, it's like a vacuum. The oil has to go somewhere, so you do have to breathe. Your motor, to determine if your motor is bad on this machine, you pretty much put the washer in spin, and if it starts to spin, then you hear a humming noise. If you touch the motor after a few minutes and it's super hot, that means the motor is bad. And in fact, sometimes it could even trip the breaker. So if the motor is super hot during the spin and it will not go into spin anymore, and you touch the motor and it's super warm, that means the motor has failed. If you have a washer that will not spin and it's not humming, remove the drain pump. Just pull it off to the side for now. You don't have to do that. And put it back in spin. If it starts to spin, don't let it spin too long, because obviously if the tub is full of water, you can splash water out. But now you know your issue is not the motor, but the issue is your pump. And you can use a radiator clamp, and you can clamp right there, okay? And if you have two, clamp another there, and you can remove this pump from the entire unit, and you want to check the inlet and outlet for sock or any debris that might have gotten caught into the pump, and that would basically stop your machine from spinning. And of course, you want to check your lid switch as well. Make sure that is functioning, because that will also stop you from spinning. All right, and of course your timer as well, but 9 times out of 10 on these good, reliable machine, it's not your timer. And all right, thanks for watching. All right, guys, here's the model number. Totally forgot to show that. And I was mentioning things that could stop your washer from not spinning. A weak clutch, and also a capacitor. Start capacitor can also inhibit your washer from starting up. So if you push start it and it kicks on good, that could also be a capacitor as well. But 9 times out of 10, if it's a bad clutch and you hold it with your hand slowly, not crazy, you can always use a towel or something to try and slow the drum down. You do have to bypass or put a pencil or something down in the lid switch, and that will also allows you to watch the drum turns as you try to slow it down. If you notice it's nice and strong, now you want to be careful because you do have the agitator moving. So if it's nice and strong, you don't have to worry about a clutch. So just a couple pointers. Thank you.